Complexities turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Complexities turn to ban. Complexities turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Legion Commander!
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Lycan!
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Reserve time. Complexities turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Warlock.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Complexities turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
kill you all.
Complexities turn to ban. Radiant team pick.
Think the hacks itself scales really well, but the value point's
10
okay in
seconds
it.
remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dusk.
Complexities turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Spirit Breaker.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Clockwork.
Complexities turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Timber saw!
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Complexities turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Complexities turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Bristleback!
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Shadow Fiend.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
God. Why does this happen in lobbies? Is what I want to know. You know, it's all about the dick measuring. When you get into your pubs and the enemy's tower looks like shit, always feels good. All right, so we've, I guess I overlooked slightly the old Cogs Shadow Fiend combo. So we talked about we having a good matchup in towards mid lane. He's gonna get out of mid lane with, you know, 11 to 14 souls as this game starts. All right, ward going to be dropped down as well by Saxa. Not going to see anyone, so maybe this tips him off to the fact that Complexity is smoked as a unit here. But there's always the possibility that people just walk towards top, you know, via the lane or more north of that ward. So still, there is a chance Complexity do end up getting something done. But because they're actually making the cogs play, no one even near the rune or shrine just yet. Complexity, however, stalking, standing on the high ground, and it looks like this might just bear fruit. Walking towards mid lane. 15 souls, and if they kill off the Shadow Fiend now, it's all for naught. And 15 souls, pops up a well played, and walks up to the high ground into certain death. Saxa nearby, gets the shards off. The bounce isn't good enough, though, and goes down from 15 souls to 8. They also secure themselves the rune. So 3 runes going Complexity's way. First Blood going their way as well. And Moon follows it up with the GL. So Sportsmanship there. 700 net worth lead. Begin the game off here for Complexity. Yeah. And it is certainly innately a favorable matchup for this SF. So charge in towards top lane. Moon does have a set of cogs available, so gonna be difficult to kill off as I lose my demon nearby. Doesn't really have anything to add in the way of disable. But Moon will be forced more than likely to salve up here early on. Firo getting aggressed upon by Wee mid, as you would expect. Bot lane shards. Oh, not going to bounce. Do have the lane ward there as well to kind of facilitate this aggression and just allow Rezo to free farm. Lycan, one of the best feeling heroes to last hit in lane with, I feel. Such great base damage. But either way, Z-Freak clearing up to try and pincer around Moon here, or at least maybe take his bounty rune. Taking some pass. Trying to make his way back into lane. Bottom. Difficult against lineup. Attempts a pull, won't be able to get it. Misery now inbound. Saxa nearby as well. Only level 1 though on the Tusk. Does catch the shards, and they do have the Ether Shock. That'll finish off Swindles. So response to the first blood netted here by Thunderbirds. They're going to square things up 1. Yeah. Will, good call as Z-Freak makes his first effective charge in with that level 2 Greater Bash skilled up. Big kill for Firo to find in what would otherwise be a difficult lane. And the second death of the game, albeit one pre-minute 0 for Wee. Still hurtful for the Shadow Fiend. Charge going to be scouted briefly by Saxa. Oh, actually Invis Rune on Z-Freak. So bottom lane, in he goes. Misery could be in a little bit of trouble here. One bash should net his kill, but they don't get that lucky. They will end up getting the Orb of Venom to tick him out. Rezo, tanky. They should have been able to chase him down regardless with the overwhelming odds. Kills here. Saxa chasing down Firo. Unable to get it in range, and with the cooldown on shards, is going to end up backing off. Still level 1 is the Tusk for Thunderbird side. Probably a bit concerning for them. See if Sax is able to find some fun for himself hereafter as we can shrine up with his. Yeah, definitely so. Moo atop the CS board as well on his Timber Saw. You know, roughly at parity with Resolution, but Timber with just his level 6 to some extent feels like he can get a little more done. And then his counterpart, the Lycan, body blocks mid lane from Z-Freak. The second bash gonna come out. Now we in trouble with the goo. He's gonna drop here. More than likely turns to triangle for the hill and will get it, but no experience, as Z-Freak will net the experience here and finds Firo. Another grab in the mid lane. Z-Freak actually the one to pick up the last hit. Breaker. He's going to be in towards that urn, and we having a rough time early on. Saxa, as you mentioned, just kind of getting pulled around the map against his will, and it seems like he's been just a step too late in almost every rotation thus far. Rezo having a fine time, but no real kill potential for this Radiant safe lane. And Swindle's not the hero that you want to be able to get all this farm here on. With the DD rune and the Howl, it will jump in for beautiful charged up snowball by Saxa. Timing it, waiting for the charge on Z-Freak. I talked about his sort of affinity for this hero earlier on, and show it there, able to dodge the stun. Charge and off Z-Freak here. Nice return kill for him to finally find. But still, Complexity looking good in the early stages. Cogs used top lane here by Moon, and Seafreak is a charging. Could come back to bite him in the rear here. Move 3 levels in the reactive armor, so can kind of dive deep, but 1 level in the chain, and it looks like try and battery assault, keep them bay. It seems like if Moo perhaps just reacted a little bit quicker, they may have gotten the kill there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Get body blocked up, and Orb of Venom is there as well. In towards the shrine, gets the bash as well. Misery low on mana. Oh, the overwhelming odds. The Orb of Venom tick again. Second time in the game. Gonna get them. Good item, right? And Z-Freak, he should be just fine to make it out here, barring a great play from Saxa. Saxa low on mana for any sort of attempt at that. And worse for wear are Thunderbirds as Swindles picks up their bounty rune. That's the cherry on top. Shrine going to be popped up. And a lot of experience going the way of Swindles here as well by the Shrine, who's already sitting on level 4, near eclipsing that level 5 mark. Moon will do the same, top on block. Having a decent early game, maybe the one silver lining thus far for Thunderbird side. Wee's recovered decently in the way of CS, 44. And Demon, yeah, caught top lane. One more right click, finds the kill. Had the rocket flare as well if he needed it, but economic play from Moon. And that solo kill will put him very close to his hook shot milestone. Backs are rotating around. Twid does have a ward. Cover of smokestack. There by Firo, and he's just a little bit too tanky to kill off here early on. Charge going to go in bottom lane as Rezo pops up the shapeshift, but far too unhealthy to continue fighting. Still, though, with his 4 billion move speed, will make it out of the range of threat. On Lycan specifically, no. On almost every other safe laner, I suppose, yes. It's decently timed. He's already used it once, so it looks like he got it, around the 6-minute mark, which is certainly good. It does feel like, though, we were talking about in the draft, that Complexity are going to want to fight early, so it remains to be seen if he'll be able to get enough items to counteract that by the time Complexity are ready and willing. Saxa, Invis Rune, looking at Firo here. Firo turns around, cops a Shadow Raise to the face, and will think twice. Freak is able to another kill bottom lane. Pretty deep, but ends up getting it on the Shadow Shem. Dire Ward, I guess.
Dire's structures.
Oh, the Shard's gonna whiff there on Firo.
Dire's middle tower.
Team Moon does have his hookshot available. Moo, though, a very difficult kill. Clockwork. Let's have the level 4 battery assault, but still more than difficult kill. Port's doing well for Complexity here. 5 on the Warlock. Break to the 4 and 3 of the Shadow Shaman and Tusk, respectively. Swindles has his duel ready as well, bottom lane. Z-Freak just TP'd in towards the shrine. He's cutting into the trees, maybe thinking about this. Lycan very tanky, though. Charge in now in towards Z-Freak. Now they're thinking of this duel. Certainly. Overwhelming odds goes out. Oh, nice turn and Hex. Duel is there now, and Moo's going to come in. He's going to get it with the chain through. Saxa could be in a lot of trouble too. Goes for the TP. The chain will finish him off. Double kill for the Timbersaw. Conveniently underneath the tower with a big wave. Our Complexity 8-4, finding themselves a lead as you recommended for them, and looking to take out this tier 1 as well. Rocket Flare, just a minor nuisance here, as they should be able to finish off this tower with ease. Bottom lane. Windows ends up with the last hit on the tower. Z-Freak right back to work. Looking at Wee mid lane, who does have an arcane rune. And Moon gets another solo kill on Demon in the meantime. Somewhat inconsequential. He ends up using his hook shot for it. Z-Freak in trouble now. Wee mid lane doesn't charge up the Requiem. Going to be economic about it, and a couple of raises will net the kill onto Z. Actually picking last hit there. Firo, though, now he gets sharded in. Could be in a little trouble. We still had that arcane rune, but not willing to overcommit for this Bristleback, as the tower is just out of deny range at this point. Can't afford to kind of hang back. Meanwhile, though, bottom lane Moo unattended to on this Timbersaw. Of course, he's going to push very slowly, being a Timbersaw, but still, have no answer for him quite yet. And Rezo just kind of watching as his buildings struck here by the Timber. Very true. Hex, again, does get off and just low of 6. 2 nice hexes to cancel the charge thus far. Misery, but now Rezo potentially in trouble here. Charge going to be up again. Timber Chain, tip off the Lycan to pending threat and make it up to the north. They do have a ward here, though, to the dire side. Should have scouted him briefly, but he won't make it back. And yeah, tower already at half HP. Moo gonna get to work again. Top lane swing running at Moon. Like much is going to come of it. Picks up his point booster, bottom lane. Tank this tower a bit. Backs off Rezo, and Rezo spending a lot of time on this bottom lane as opposed to jungling or going elsewhere. Isn't really doing all that much in the way of defending the structure. Chakra gonna go out. Chain is there as well. Rezo, quite a bit of damage. Now the rotations are inbound. He does pop up the wolves. Misery nearby. Saksa there as well. Moo, a very difficult kill though. They will find the Warlock with the shards. Back in, but Moo still undeterred in this bot lane. We a little bit low mid. Firo finds himself a DD. Has a bottle as well. It's always gonna help. And Moo looks like we'll finish off this tier 2 bottom. Saksa inbound. Definitely a great tool to have behind a Timbersaw who wants you to commit and then turn the fight. But TBirds won't bite. Mid lane though, Firo could be in a little bit of trouble. At least they're going to look to secure this tower here. We will be able to do so. Hex goes out. But maybe we just thinking it's a little too difficult to go in on this Bristleback. However, Moon is going to find the hook shot over to the east. Battery Assault from the front side. Ether Shock is there as well. Raise and one more tick. Moon able to find the kill on a big target. Swindle's rotating in, gets hexed up. Charge coming through. Those shards are going to be there, but it doesn't block back Swindle's second dual win of the game for the Legion Commander. Z-Freak able to make it out of the cogs. Does get mana burned up, though. Now we able to dodge the chakram, but the Chaotic Offering going to go out behind him. He gets the kill beforehand, though, on Swindles with the raise, and it's essentially just going to be a wasted ultimate for Demon as Moo is forced to back out to the east. And nicely played there on the back end, only losing the Shadow Shaman after they find the Bristleback kill, and they get the Legion on the back end. So great trade for Thunderbirds. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Yeah. Big swing, about 4k net going, and they have a 4,000 experience lead. Well, you mentioned kind of the inability of heroes like Bristleback and Spiritbreaker to come back from a big deficit. Trending in that direction. Who's going to pick himself up a Yules? He was able to cancel the chain. Bottom lane. can kind of cancel charges with this. Well, good against the Legion Commander duel. So nice item for him to pick up early. And now sneaky play from T-Birds. You're talking about kind of the viability of Shadow Shaman, and you know, this is one of the things that perhaps you kind of just forget about when SS is not in the game often. Will make it into the Roche Pit. They have the Sigil, they have the presence of the Dark Lord and the Masked Serpent Wards, and they're going to look to take down Roche here, and it looks like they'll be able to do so without Complexity making a move. Top lane looking for blood. He will get scouted by the wave. Rocket Flare may have just briefly caught Z-Freak, but the hook slightly wide. Swindle's able to be up to the north. Moon kind of free to use his spells like this. The Yules should give him enough mana regen to feel free to do so. Moo bottom lane just farming. Does have the Bloodstone now, but has yet to find a fight with it after getting ganked bottom lane. And we back in towards the top lane. Look at this tier 1 here. 16 minutes in. Extremely healthy for the Radiant side. We talked about kind of their lack of siege. He is not afraid of this Bristleback at all. Stacking up the Goose, still feeling strong. Does have the Aegis, Dragonlance as well. Dragonlance, Aquila Treads, and the Sands. Very stat heavy build. Very tanky SF at this point. Overwhelming Onzo hits him big. Jump forward from Swindle's going to look for the duel, and Moo going to come in with the Chakram to pull back. They'll get the duel win, but it's just Aegis at this point. They have the Chaotic Offering. Saxa is nearby. He's going to pop up the Sigil, go into the Snowball. Requiem is not going to be canceled in time by the Chaotic Offering. The right click out finds Z-Freak, and now the punch in the backlines. Firo, though, he can kill off Wee, and Moo is nearby, able to do so. Chakram now down from the high ground onto Moon. Serpent Wards and the Ether Shock, they do end up finding that Bristleback, and the Lycan will clean up the Warlock on the north side. Moo now making it over towards the east. There is a Shrine here, though, so he really can't just fight this. Swindle's inbound with the Overwhelming Odds, kills off the Wolves, and that'll back Rezo off as his ultimate expiring there. So we do see the Echo Saber reveal for Resolution. Still didn't feel all that effective in the fight despite all this net worth, and part of that just being the Midas in his inventory. Either way, overall, felt pretty even, but Complexity do end up taking away the Aegis from Thunderbird. Still, though, no objective in that mid lane. Tier 1 tower is still very healthy, and that's always good for T-Birds. Yeah. Yeah, they do have the medallion as well up on Saxa. So can just throw that on Wee, make it a Solar Crest. Eventually, Swindle's going to get caught with the Snowball, and now the hook back in is going to connect onto Wee. Unfortunately for Moon, Wee, though, still standing strong. Moo trying to get inbound towards him. Rezo going to pop up the Shapeshift on the east and the Shackle onto Moo's Timbersaw. Wee now standing and fighting his ground. Meanwhile, on the south, they do find the kill on the Shadow Shaman. Wee in trouble. Couple of more Quills should bring him down. Rezo goes for the backlines and does end up getting the Warlock, but that's all she wrote for this Lycan. And now, perhaps, finally, this tier 1 in danger. There is a glyph for the Radiant side, and they'll expend it here. But 30 seconds with Wee on the sideline. And Saxa has just not really been able to get in position. Neither has Moo in these last 2 engagements to protect Weehaw. Unfortunately, that hook early on not landing, and Weehaw ends up going down again. Or, yeah, the Shadow. Yeah. The frontliners for TBirds just have been unable to take the attention away from their Shadow Fiend, and he seems to be the bulk of their damage. Rezo just kind of has to run around the periphery of the fights and look at the supports, and he's been able to do that, but or do that and get himself out. It's been a while. It's actually been the entire game since it died. How effective he can be. He is building into that AC, so does have the Echo Saber Deso at this point, and will start to become a pretty big right-click presence. But as you mentioned, Vanguard, Solar Crest, the passive for both the Bristleback and Bristles, quite difficult to get through here. Top lane, Moo just looking at him aggressively, has a Solar Crest of his own as well on the Tim Bloodstone charges, so very difficult targets to bring down from Complexity's side. Built up right now at a resolution. Moo gonna find himself the final tier 1 away from the Radiant top lane. Secure the last hit on that. As Plexi gonna reconvene in towards the top lane. Couple of dual wins already. Hands of Swindles. He's got a Blade Mail now, so has his essentials, the Blink Blade Mail, up on the Legion. Gonna make his way down bot lane, as perhaps they show under this tier 2 top and bait the quote-unquote easy tier 1 tower bottom lane. Saxa, though, playing pretty safe, and he will actually cancel the blink of Swindles as they drop down the wards. Swindles now gonna forego looking for the kill and blink forward, farm up these wards, ensure that his tower is not taken out. Bot lane, top lane as well. Complexity have been backed away from the tower. Yep. We looking at a BKB for his next item. Although a lot of physical damage remains, but he will negate effectively the timber at that point. Jump forward, charge, gives the vision onto Saxa, and the duel is there for Swindles. Swindles having a good one thus far on his Legion Commander. 54 dual damage in his pockets. And the Blink Blade Mail reveal will bear fruit. They are controlling the map pretty well overall, with 4 tier 1 towers now eliminated. The Spirit Breaker allowing them to aggressively posture continuously. Complexity have dragged this one back. Only a 2,400 net worth lead now for Thunderbirds here. 15-16 the score, 24 minutes in. Yeah.
Mine. That's for me.
Players here.
Demon finding himself some space here bottom lane. Both teams playing with rather limited vision at the moment. One looking for a fight in that top jungle area. Moo kind of more than tanky enough now with the Blade Mail, Solar Crest, Bloodstone to kind of just sit out in lane and farm the creeps and allow the rest of his lineup to find space in the jungle. Z-Freak has a Blade Mail of his own, so a lot of tanky heroes. Even the 4 positioner for Complexity side. Lucian's not quite yet ready BKB up on Wii though. A nice team fight tool for him against the Timbersaw. Avoid kind of that stat reduction. Allow him to stand strong in these fights. We've seen their focus of all of Complexity's damage as Complexity will smoke his 5 Rocket Flare, perhaps providing a false positive here. Not catching anyone for TBirds. They are backing up to the high ground. Swindle's going to jump in. He finds maybe the wrong target. Gets Yulesed up. Chaotic Offering will be there. Wii still under the cover of Blade Mail, but the charge cancels the Requiem again. Now the duel is gotten off onto Wii, but Wii is just going to win it and get himself some free damage. Meanwhile, Moo in the backlines takes a lot of damage. He's going to end up dropping 2. Firo in the front lines. Rezo still nearby. Gets the Courier in the meantime. Wii in trouble. Does end up going down, but it looks like TBirds may clean this one up. Firo still standing strong, and actually with the goo, Rezo can't chase him down. Warpath is enough to get him away. Ends up being like a 3-for-3 in that fight, as Boo does end up returning because of the Bloodstone. But Wii doing 4,300 damage in that fight all by his lonesome. The entire Complexity squad doing 8k. Moo gets a little bit deep on his Timbersaw and gets isolated out and brought down. Oh, the hook though. It looked good at the start for TBirds, but they don't have Weehaw, and if they don't have Wii, they don't have damage. Jump in from Moo and Swindles to counteract. Firo low, but not dead. And it looks like Complexity in a position to take Roche and take this series to a 3rd game after that devastating fight. They're going to take 4 heroes away from TBirds, everyone but the Shadow Fiend. Now Wii mid lane being charged up. Swindles nearby. Doesn't have the duel though. Will just be the glancing blow. But Roche going to be secured. Firo going to pick up the Aegis. Now with 2 lives on the Bristleback, potentially a Talisman of Evasion on top of his Solar Crest. Is going to be Halberd, yeah. Yeah, it would be odd for sure. Moo 17 Bloodstone charges even after that death, and now Swindle's jumping forward looking for Saxa, and they really have the Yules here and the Hex. But Saxa, does he end up going down regardless? Snowball, and does end up dropping. They get Swindles for it. Yeah, it's definitely worth the Swindles trade. Still though, Aegis in the hand of TBirds. Demon just gets right-clicked down by Wii. Optimistic TP for him there, and he gets spotted out. 2 heroes after the Aegis is picked up going to be taken by TB. Still a pretty big force for Complexity to deal with. Now with the Assault Cuirass, if Rezo can get something done. Has farmed up a Storm all game. Yet to really see his impact. Now though, sitting on 17k net worth. Has his level 20 talent as well. Shapeshift can be popped up a little more often. And Resolution not likely to go for a BKB at any time soon, and which means that this Halberd completed up by Firo could continue to kind of diminish his effect in the fights. MKB though is kind of close here for Wii. He's gonna have to forego buyback to complete it up. What could be the item turning fight if they provide enough frontline for the Shadow Fiend. Tier 2 is going to be forfeit here, mid lane. Think of defending this top lane. Hero will be the one to TP in, and him being the Aegis carrier, that's more than likely going to be the decision of the entire team. Demon gets down some deep vision for his squad.
Got it.
Yeah, top lane defense. Shot. He's gonna find a demon once again, as it has almost all gaming. Swindles goes for the duel, and Rezo chops him to bits. Now we jumping forward, looking for Z-Freak, gets a couple right clicks off. Shard's not gonna catch anyone. Rezo not able to get the last right click off, and the Nether Strike comes back in to keep him in place. Z-Freak does end up dropping for it. Lycan saved by the snowball for the time being. Can Furo chase him down? He's gonna get sharded in once again. They have the buff and the wards. Resolution still surviving. Moo nearby misses the chakram, tries to pull it back, is gonna get shackled up. Cogs are gonna be there as well. Rezo, they can't bring him down. Aegis on the deck. Misery looks like he may drop in the backlines, but the Yules from Moon keeps Moo up in the air. Now the Hex gets off. Requiem is there as well. Snowball finishes off the Timber Saw. Resolution, he's got another shapeshift available. Shard's unfortunate bounce though for the T-Bird side, and with the low respawn time of Timbersaw, now Legion back up, they are forced to back out, but a wonderfully executed team fight for T-Birds as no one drops there, and they get 5 heroes out of complexity. Be near enough for an MKB for SF for we. Close by as well is Resolutions. Really sort of nicely timed win for the T-Bird side. They look to equal out the lead that Complexity had moments ago. So Moo picks up a blink on his Timber Saw. It does feel like to some extent he's really been kited around in these fights. Cogs, Snowball, the Disable Kit available to the Shadow Shaman. And of course just the Lycan's move speed. Speaking of bottom lane, we're going to pop up the BKB, and Swindles, perhaps learning his lesson from trying to duel the Lycan recently, ends up backing himself away. BKB picked up by Swindles now. Yules no longer affects him during that duel. The Shadow Shaman as well. Perhaps he can get to the back lines and cross Hex top lane onto the Spirit Breaker. Rocket Flare will be there to cancel any blink forward potential move. Demon does pick up a Force Staff. Warlock. But nothing to speak of other than that. No, neither side has opted to buy a gem at this point. KB complete on Ags.
Players here.
Yeah, farming for 35 minutes seems to get you there. Moon just kind of been the sacrificial lamb, but as you mentioned, has made the key play, at least in the last team fight. Shiva's AC now available to Complexity. And maybe with the Blink and Shiva's, Moon actually able to get something done in these fights as the BKB starts to dwindle down here for we. Currently sitting on a 7-second duration. Saxa has a Blink of his own though, so Blink Snowball save, very real possibility for either we or... And both teams thinking about Roche. Birds swarming around that area.
Players here.
Feels like the game gets very difficult for Complexity if they do not get this next. Furo TPing in towards the shrine. 5-man smoke. that dire shrine. Rocket Flare goes out. Not sure if it briefly scouts anyone in the mid lane. Still a tier 1 up bottom lane. Can just backdoor that if this... Going to find someone. Look at Z-Freak's positioning though. Oh, gets hexed up. Looks like he'll be brought down. And they hook the backlines as well. Swindle Melons unable to counter initiate Moo. Not sure if that was intentional, but fortunate regardless. Yeah. Get the tier 1 here off the back of it. Maybe they look at Roche or they just look at that tier 2. Z-Freak off the board, 42 seconds. Does have a buyback. Unlikely to expend it here. And actually Complexity that beeline towards the pit, knowing that their enemies are bottom lane. TP in towards the shrine from Rezo's Light. Paired up with Saxa. Hero not taking any damage from Roche here, really. But no full commitment yet from Complexity. Yeah. Could certainly decide the game. Bit of a limitation in draft in the way that coL not really great at structures or Roche, great at team fighting though, and yeah, shards are gonna be there. Blinks back. They see Z-Freak smoke pop, or at least Z-Freak sees his smoke pop. Plexi gonna look to back out. I have not. Down through the mid lane they go. We with that fresh MKB, we're yet to see it fight. Could certainly a lot of work here. Moo nearby. Wards go up on the high ground. They're going to spot him briefly. He is near a shrine though and is tanky target. They do find Demon. That could be the better one to initiate on. Just yet. Birds Moon high with the hook shot. Backs off to the east. It is nighttime. Probably not scouted yet. We was scouted though. Rocket Flare going to go and try and cancel any blink. A little bit more nation. We going to get charged up. Cancelled immediately. Firo takes a few right clicks. Backside toward team sort of jockeying for position at this point, knowing how important this next Aegis.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think TBirds perhaps more willing to give it up than Complexity's side, as they know Complexity takes a lot slower and they can probably get both these tier 2. Got their move. Wards were already dropped bottom lane here. Misery.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
No reaction yet from Complexity.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And Misery in his way towards bottom. Doesn't have the wards, but just gonna push this wave in, force a reaction out, and now back towards mid he goes. TP in towards the top tower. Firo, the only one in the pit. He's gonna get sharded up. Sigil will go out as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
T-Birds not committing anything. Just allow their waves to continue to push in the mid and the bottom lanes. For the north side, we'll get a ward down, and he's going to get charged up. Gets a blink out, but he's in no man's land right now. Do they look to initiate down to the south? He gets the Yules off and the Hex onto Z-Freak. Now Firo, he might be in trouble here. Is all off by his lonesome. Saxa nearby gets caught with the Chakram. Will get the snowball off in time. And is able to punch up the Bristleback. Meanwhile, Moon brings down Z-Freak. Z-Freak gonna buy back immediately. Weeg gets off the Requiem barely before the chaotic offering again. Hookshot is not gonna land for Moon. They get up towards the Shine and reset. That's Complexity, but Swindles has been brought down in the meantime. Roche very low. They'll get the Aegis, or they'll get the Roche. Aegis is gonna be taken by Rezo. Now blink up towards the high ground. Shards are gonna keep Z-Freak back. Chain away from Moo. And Hookshot not going to find anyone for Moon, but the Walrus Punch into the air goes the Spirit Breaker. That's a dieback for him. Hex now out, and the Yule Scepter onto Moo's Timber. He will go through the Lycan of Resolution, but Moon finds another hook shot with his Ags on the back line. Complexity, they'll take the lower hanging fruit in the Warlock, and now Saxa going to blink forward. Does have a snowball in just a second. Hook shot is there on to Moon. They'll get him down. 50 seconds, no Timber Saw. Cog bounce back into the shards and the shackles. Saxa with the Walrus Punch. And 5 heroes for coL on the sideline. They're going to buy back on the Timber Saw. They have one on the Bristleback as well as the Warlock. Legion will be up in 14, so they should have 4 members for this base defense. But these buildings, they should go down quickly with Louise, Shadow Fiend, and Resolution. Do have the Howl available. It will now pop it as the glyph expires. Everyone, though, rather unhealthy here for the T-Bird side. They'll take the tier 3. We'll see how long they end up committing here. Moo taking a lot of right-click damage from Wee. Wee gets halbearded up. Looks like he was potentially healed by the cheese. Now that Saxa and Misery take a big overwhelming odds, Saxa going to end up getting chained and brought down. Rezo is going to be able to shapeshift and make it out. And all in all, they will only lose Husk. They'll get themselves a tier 3, but a massive lead otherwise. That fight, Resolution. And Thunderbirds now well within their grasp at the end of this game. Moon again gonna find himself a move mid lane. Couple of right clicks with the MKB. And yeah, they do end up getting the battery assault as well as the MKB procs to cancel the charge, and 2 right clicks from the low ground. Demon ends up dropping. He'll buy back instantly. 60 seconds. No Moo Timber Saw. And as you mentioned already, 3 buybacks in the previous fight, so that's the 4th one off the table. Swindles does have his available. Remains to be seen if that's even nearly enough, as there's still an Aegis in the hands of Rezo. He's got a shapeshift available. He will get halbearded up. We does have the Silver Edge in just a second. He'll drop it. Then they hook up Furo. They will be able to purge off the... Well, they'll purge early, actually. The break's still there. And now jump forward. Duel is going to be found onto Rezo. The snowball save, though, dodges both that and the chaotic offering from Saxa. And they will continue to press forward. Shrines are not. Rezo still have an Aegis in hand on this Lycan, as they'll chase down the last remaining Complexity player in Z-Freak. GG going to be called. And after what looked like a pretty good early game and good early mid game for Complexity, at one big fight in the mid lane where they could not kill Rezo, huge swing for T-Birds. They bring it back. Really good understanding of how the lineup of Complexity has to work. And